This stain brings us value on so many different levels. You're not going to burn your truck up. You're not going to burn the house up. If you're in multifamily construction, you're not going to stink the neighbors out. If you're working in a high-rise, you're going to meet all the codes. If you splash it all over the walls, you're going to be able to clean it off. It brings value on a whole bunch of different levels. You screw the cap on the bottle, goes back on the shelf, and it's good until the next time you use it. It's not going to turn into a rock in the can or things like that. So we think you're going to like the product, but the important thing with this stain is that when you pick it up, you can't just pick it up and use it like you did your Duracell stain. What we're going to show you here today is very simplistic. It just needs to be done a little differently. We think if you had started with these water-based stains 25 years ago, and then somebody handed you an oil-based stain, you'd say, oh, that's crazy, I'd never use it.
This stain technology offers color saturation. It's going to be a little different than what you guys have seen in the past. It's using an automotive pigment. The automotive pigments allow us to get to some extreme color tones like you see on the back of this fan that Phil's got in his hand. To have a blue like that is kind of an incredible concept that the sport world is something that is starting to embrace more and more stain. Just as you're seeing in the residential world, and some of you sport, I don't know who's who, but you're getting customers saying it looks a little green, it looks a little blue, and I'm hoping that we can start creating that conversation of going, oh, how do we kill green? How do we kill blue? How do we make a gray that doesn't have blue in it or have green in it?
Primary colors here, I mean, technically we can mix these together to create any color imaginable. I mean, create any color imaginable.
The rainbow is now wide open. Everybody remember their primary colors? I had forgotten. Honestly, it's something you learn in second grade and you totally forget about it. So your primary is red, blue, yellow. Your secondaries are purple, green, orange, and it just goes on and on from there. Brown is actually a mix of the three, blue, yellow, and red. So you can make your browns from there. As funny as it is, we don't think like that because we're all pre-mixed for us. This gray I'm going to make up is derived from three of our colors. And those colors are slate, which is a really dark charcoal, our white, and then clear base, which is something kind of unique. In the oil-based world, which is what I come from, you have neutral or natural. But what happens when you cut a white with a neutral or natural? Turns it yellow. So we're going to do something unique because we can. In a water-based platform, our base is actually clear. So we produced both. To make neutral, we actually have to add pigment. So I like having that because when I want to cut a white, I don't add yellow to it. So another form of what this thing can do is creates a designer element for that customer who says, I don't like the yellow, I don't want to see yellow. You can actually reduce a color with this. You can reduce brown and minimize the yellow coming out of that brown because of this clear base. So it makes it kind of different. The product does not get hard on the bottom, so simply just shaking it like this is going to be mixed. That simple. White will obviously be more so than the other colors. It's about 800 to 1,000 feet per gallon, depending on your species and the prep. So obviously with oaks it'll be a little less, hickories it'll be a little more, exotics will be a little more. When guys do explore buffing in this stain, just like you do with oils, you'll get more out of the product than you will with hand wiping. Because this is something new, we are trying to go back to some basics because we'd rather you get the feel for the product. The body of this product is heavier than what you're going to be used to from an oil side, so I want you to get a feel for it before you start buffing it. Otherwise, you could have some issues. Buffing any product accelerates its dry, creates friction. So obviously with water-based stain, the more you're pushing that, the faster it's drying on you. My father used to say, put it on like it's cheap. That means get it on, get it going. So it's a little funny statement. From a manufacturer standpoint is, hey, we make more every day. Use all you want, we don't care. But truth is, the product does kind of require to put it on liberally so that you have some working time. And I'm going to do one of these because you can sweat with this and it won't hurt the stain. But I'll cheat. We already know what that would do to oil. Yeah. There's got to be some pluses to consider using it. It won't be the same, but there's some things about it that are definitely different and they have an advantage. Every color is under 200 VOC. Even if you add Glide, it would be under 250, up to the max that we recommend of 18 ounces. So we are compliant anywhere in the country. But I don't smell anything. Usually that's the number one complaint with a homeowner is, what does it smell like? You know, what are my hazards with it? I don't know if anyone happened to notice how I was cleaning my hands.
So what was in the bucket?
Water.
Water, all right.
You want to smell it?
That's good. That's good.
It's that simple.
What are you doing with that pile of red?
I don't really care. It'll never ignite.